our final discussion in concluding this first module, to do or not to do should you start a small business. We're going to make our answers a little bit shorter. We had just completed a YouTube where these words that I'm going to share with you right now never got uploaded. A blip in the technology, in the YouTube technology. So we're going to start with the small business keyword, business opportunity. Are you able to recognize, identify, and act upon a business opportunity, a true business opportunity? All too often, entrepreneurs who are starting a business find opportunities, but they're not necessarily very good ones. In their eager desires to create cash flow as quickly as possible, they pursue business opportunities that end up not being profitable ones for them, profitable cash flow. So you have to be able to recognize the opportunity as a good opportunity and not one which you will waste much time and other resources. Negotiating skills. What are your personal negotiating skills? Negotiating does not mean a win just for yourself. Good negotiating creates a win-win opportunity, not only for yourself, but with that individual with whom you are negotiating, or that organization. A one-sided negotiated settlement result will be short-lived. A one in which both sides are winners and both sides together have negotiated a win position for each, then there's a bigger winner. There are two winners. And maybe that creates a situation where those two who have negotiated some type of decision between the two of them will work together to create other business opportunities for themselves. Follow-up. What is your ability to follow up? All too often, entrepreneurs who start a business do not plan a follow-up. So they are wasting a tremendous amount of resources that they created to initiate that campaign launch, that direct mail piece, that email marketing blast that they did. They don't have a follow-up plan and subsequently will waste way too many resources. Integrity. I can't stress enough the importance of integrity. Not only your personal integrity, but what is the integrity of those individuals with whom you deal, with whom you make decisions to do business with. I have made way too many mistakes in evaluating the integrity of the other individual. And just recently, in the last year, way too many situations where I put a lot of trust, faith, and confidence in the other individual, and the business relationship was terminated in great fact, with great meaning, on the idea that there was not much integrity with the other individual. Please don't make the same mistake that I have made. Unfortunately, I've been able to survive my bad decision making in two cases I can think of right away. But I wasted a lot of valuable resources in being able to come to that conclusion. Listening. What is your ability to listen? I hear salespeople who call me to try to sell something are trying to sell me their solution when they don't even know what my problem is, what my challenges are, what I need, what I will determine to be of great value to my company, myself, my person. They have the solution before they ever know what the problem is, what the challenge is, because they don't have the ability to listen. successful entrepreneurs starting a business are all very good listeners. Stress. How do you handle stress? Probably the best way to handle stress is don't allow things to become stressful. Just look at them as a challenge. I want to make sure that you're able to see the davidsbarter.com screen. Stress is only stress when you allow it to become stress. And that's a simple thing to say, a very hard thing to understand and to react to accordingly. I try not to let things stress me out and move on to, if that particular situation wasn't important and it does cause stress to you, maybe it wasn't as important as you thought it was. Stress not only impacts your ability to react to business situations, personal situations, but particularly in my case, if I allow stress to come into my life, it affects my health very, very directly. So I just try not to get involved in things that potentially might stress me out. I've had to make some very, very hard decisions to that point in my personal life, but my health and well-being is way more important than that situation that brings stress or potentially brings stress into my life if I allow it to. And finally, the last small business keyword that I'd like to share with you is the word success. People fail to react upon certain situations, entrepreneurs starting a business, for example, because they are fearful of being successful, that what happens if they are not successful. And to that point, I can only say success is measured differently with different folks. Personally, my success has nothing to do with money that may or may not be generated. My success and how I measure success is my ability to create goals and objectives and to be able to achieve those goals and objectives by checking them off. That was the goal, brought it to completion. That is a successful attempt. Part of that success, too, is understanding that maybe that idea, maybe that goal was unrealistic, and your manner to try to achieve that goal was not workable. Success also is determined by your ability to recognize that and make a change or delete it and create another goal and objective in its place. We're going to talk further about success and particularly reference Brian Tracy's book, one book that has been extremely important to my thinking, The 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. I keep this book close at hand. I refer to it often. I go back to some of the laws of success. The universal law of negotiating. We just talked about negotiating in a second. I just opened the book. The law of problems. The law of risk. Law of friendship. I should have read this earlier in my life, but Brian talks about success and actually measures that success in the 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. And very soon I'm going to generate several discussions. I don't know that we'll touch all 100. I'll pick the ones that have been most meaningful to me and relating to my small business experiences of the last 41 years. Success, everybody should measure it differently. and it is not always about money as many people would have you think. Okay, that's the end of, I guess it's our 22nd discussion about small business keywords, specifically to do or not to do should you start a small business, a new small business. Our second module will be your business idea. So come back, visit with us, send me a question, send me a challenge, and tell your friends and relatives, anybody who might be interested in starting a business now, because we desperately need thousands of new businesses started now to create the thousands of new jobs that our economy desperately needs.